being mannerless. They lack manners. Seems that nowadays freedom of expression is lacking manners. And you know, these young people, I mean, you've interacted with them. They speak their mind, really. Is it one that this government does not recognize the ability and the, you know, the grit and who these young people are, so much so that they're actually now, we're no longer having, whereas back in the day it was the older generation, perhaps your colleagues and older ones, getting arrested for, you know, criticizing the government, whichever methods they use, they are getting abducted. I mean, what is this, Prof?
I think first and foremost, we need to, again, take the baton from where he left in terms of conceptualizing Kenya. In one of our seminars at the University of Nairobi, we talked about, you know, ethnic aristocracies. And we traced these ethnic aristocracies from the British aristocracy in the Happy Valley.
Yes.
You know, that Naivasha, Nakuru, that Happy Valley. In the 1930s, it was the place to be by Europeans who wanted, you know, joy and all the happiness and all the funness, the fun. And when they went there, a culture grew up where, you know, it had three aspects. One is you want to be wealthy. That's the way it will be recognized, wealth. So you worship wealth. Two, you worship land, large tracts of land. You want every week to acquire 100,000 or 1,000 acres of land, just for nothing, just to be able to show off to your colleagues that you have, oh, I have a new house, I have a new land, I have new this. That's the culture. Then the Happy Valley was also about orgies of everything, from murders to, you know, what have you.
Orgies.
To orgies of, you know, what happens, you know, between us. Now, that happiness that made the Happy Valley, made it also a moral decadence of our society. Now, for many of us, we assume that the inheritance we got from colonialism was just authoritarianism. And therefore, we all try, the historians and political scientists will try to tell you that we are suffering from colonial legacy. And Mahamud Mamdani, the Ugandan, will tell you that the legacy of late colonialism is ethnicity, the legacy of late colonialism is tyranny, and all that kind of thing. It might be true, but the real legacy is these, you know, what you call the aristocracies of the mind.
Yeah.
That you imagine yourself as an aristocrat looking for more land, looking for more, you know, friends and happiness and wealth, forgetting that you have a responsibility to build a country. And this has caught up with our leadership, that you are elected today, but you forget that the manifesto that you bequeath the people was meant to serve the three to defeat the three enemies of our people, poverty, ignorance, and disease. You stabilize education, you destabilize health, and you eliminate poverty. That's how you help your people. Now, we are in this orgy of competition that you think about institution in terms of what it can deliver to you, not what it can deliver to the people. So you want to look at, you know, health sector. How are you going to make money? Introduce technology, bring the Spanish, bring the Indians, bring the Europeans to invest in their technology, and you get your cut. And by the next election, you have already made your war chest to defeat your enemies. Then you come to education, you think about how the transformation from the old system to the new system, the amount of money that will be justified to do that. So you change the education system even when there's no reason, or even when you don't have justified. At the wee hour of the morning, when people complain, you set up commissions to justify why you are changing the education. Remember, already the policy of changing is accepted, is already in the place, and things are rolling. Then you want to set up a commission which spends more money to find out why you should depend in that commission. Now, all this is justified by the fact that you want to use institutions to get rich, you want to make money, and what they call the rentier state. And that rentier state is what is killing the country. It's not that Kenya is poor. It is not that Kenya rains have stopped. We've always had rains and dry seasons. Now, what is new is the magnitude of this, you know, and of this, if you wish, hunger for money, hunger to exploit institutions to make wealth. Institutions are supposed to be stabilized. They're not supposed to be money makers. And those that don't make money for you, you kill them. So somebody told me, and I thought this was a laughing matter, that it's not, that we are no longer looking for milk. We are going with the swords and cutting the cow to get milk, and then we don't care what happens to it after we have cut the unders.
We'll go with.
So that kind of mentality is what the Gen Zs are fighting against. Not because of anything, because the Gen Zs grew, all the late millennials and the Gen Zs grew up during the Kibaki period, when poverty was almost becoming something of the past.
It was almost becoming history.
It was almost becoming history. Because if you don't have money, you have a job by those who can employ you. So there was money in the pocket. That's what people are talking about. And these Gen Z saw their fathers wealthy. And they made requests, and requests were answered by their fathers because their fathers and mothers could give them what they wanted. Today, fathers have sharpened the skill of explaining to the youngsters why they are poor and why they cannot afford, what they used to afford a couple of years ago, just 5 years ago. Now, that is what is now building into the grievance of the Gen Z.
Okay.
Response to the Gen Z, you go straight to Argentina in the era of military dictatorship, where abductions, kidnapping, and all these disappearances, as they are called, begin to become a fact of politics. And therefore, it now becomes a reason. We've not